Yo, what's going on, guys? And are we really about to do a video speculating about Half-Life 3 and it about to be revealed, or the speculation that it's gonna be revealed? Let's talk about it. Okay, so a lot of people, and I do think that this isn't an absolute crazy thought, and I think when you offer some context into it, think that Half-Life 3 is going to be revealed tomorrow at the Video Game Awards. I'm not completely sold on it, but I understand why people are speculating it. And it all started from Jason Schreier speaking about the Game Awards and some of the reveals, and I had noticed, I believe it was Andy Robinson as well on Twitter, noting that this year's Game Awards is going to be a big show. So when both of them are saying something like this, I'm like, okay, the Game Awards is going to be fairly big this year. And on top of that, the Game Awards historically has been a pretty notable show. I know everybody is focused on, oh my god, Elden Ring is getting nominated for Game of the Year. Like, who gives a damn about Elden Ring getting nominated? Let whatever win Game of the Year. It doesn't matter. You know what does matter? Us seeing game reveals that are ultimately going to be us getting excited for games that we're going to play in the future. And we ourselves are going to be able to decide that if can those games be Game of the Year for like 2029. But nevertheless, here's what Jason Schreier noted on Kinda Funny Games. What can I say without getting into trouble? I know about a couple of announcements that are going to be there, and they definitely qualify as big announcements. That said, big announcements are games that won't be out for years, so I think there's a good chance that you'll see one or two teaser trailers for a game that is 2026 or even later. There are at least two things that'll make you guys react and be like, holy yes, I can't believe this thing is here. At least two things, I'll say that. Alright. So, let's break that down. Whenever somebody says, at this point, two things that I can't believe it's here, there are two games that come to mind right away. It's Bloodborne Remaster and it's Half-Life 3. Those are the two games that, to me, stick out to me. Are there games that I personally want to be in development and be like, oh my god, it's here, thank you? Like, sure, yeah, there are. I would love to see a new Infamous game. That's not gonna be a holy S, this game is here. I'd love to see a Legend of Dragoon remake. That doesn't qualify in terms of the bigger grandeur of gaming and games that you see on social media people wanting. I want a Tales of Abyss remake. No, that's not it. That isn't what qualifies as something that is gonna make you guys, plural, react like holy yes. If they revealed a Tales of Abyss remake, guess what? Me personally, I'd be more excited about a Tales of Abyss remake than Bloodborne Remaster, but we all know what the bigger game is. Again, Andy Robinson also said that he expects a big Game Awards, expecting a very big Game Awards this week. Fire up the hype train. Okay, so the fact that it's two games, those I immediately go to Bloodborne and Half-Life 3. Those are the two that I personally think of. I guess you could say Last of Us Part 3. I guess you could say, games like that. But in terms of me actually being like, holy S, I can't believe it's here, that means that there needs to be a level of doubt of the game coming to fruition. There actually has to be a level of speculation being like, this game is never coming out. And I feel like the two games that fit that criteria are Bloodborne and Half-Life 3. Bloodborne, there is legit speculation that this game is never going to come to fruition now, the remaster, and same thing with Half-Life 3. I mean, a lot of people have thrown in the towel on that. There's other things out there, a new Banjo-Kazooie, I guess, but like, what game would qualify as something that everybody would be like, holy S, I can't believe this thing is here? I really do believe it's Bloodborne and it's Half-Life 3. Bloodborne, I really do believe it's going to happen in the future, and I believe Half-Life 3 is going to happen in the future as well. I think both of these games are going to happen, and now, let me get into my explanation why I don't think this is crazy. First of all, Bloodborne Remaster. The thing about Bloodborne Remaster is that this is something that Sony always is going to have in their back pocket. They can put it out whenever, but they only have one ammo in the chamber, or whatever you want to say about it. They have one shot at this, and the thing is, it only builds up hype, it only builds up anticipation by them not doing it. And next year's the 10th anniversary for Bloodborne, the 10-year mark for Bloodborne's original release. I feel like it makes all the sense in the world to do it next year. I do believe it's going to happen. The waiting is honestly making this game bigger. Double that with the thought of Half-Life 3. Look, if Half-Life 3 came out back in 2013 or whenever you want to say, a decade ago, it would have been big. it is now going to be exponentially bigger. I'm sure Valve didn't plan for that. I'm sure it was just them focusing on other things and, time just went by and now it's become a meme. In this current climate of gaming, games getting memed on and it becoming a meme to this level of, Half-Life 3 is never gonna come out. This is gonna make this game, if it does get revealed, absolutely explode. On top of that, Half-Life 2's anniversary just passed. They just gave away Half-Life 2 for free, did a major update on that. And I saw this theory online, and I feel like this is gonna scare some people, but let me explain. There is rumblings about Valve putting out a console-like device in the future. I am not saying make Half-Life 3 exclusive to this console. I am absolutely not saying that. Let me reiterate that. However, you could do a situation where you bring out Half-Life 3, it's exclusive to PC, Steam, and based on, this supposed console-like device, you could put it on there as well, based on the fact that it'll probably be running Steam. And that would be a great promotional vehicle, and when you have something like Half-Life 3, yes, in a vacuum, you can sell a ton of copies of that game. That game, at this point, it's not going to be as big as, like, Grand Theft Auto 6, but it will be the step down from that. It'll be at the Elden Ring tier, or even bigger than Elden Ring, in my honest opinion, just because I think the game, based on the waiting, based on the meme factor, I just think that the game would be huge. At that point, when you have a potential iron in the fire like that, you can utilize it to promote another piece of hardware, and I think that would be incredibly advantageous to do with the Steam console if that does eventually happen. Oh, and by the way, when has Valve done this before? Oh, there was a little game called Half-Life Alyx that came with the Valve Index. This isn't something new that they're doing. They've done this in the past. And let me reiterate, this wouldn't be a Half-Life Alyx situation where you would have to have the Valve Index to play the game. That's a VR game. That's to be expected. You wouldn't have to have the Steam console to play Half-Life 3, but if you want a console or a console-like experience and you want to buy it in the store and Half-Life 3 can be used as a promotional vehicle and maybe even bundled in with the console, I'm sorry guys, it's absolutely genius and it can elevate that console. That makes a lot of sense to me in terms of that. And if I was Valve and I want to promote a new piece of hardware and I want to sell a piece of hardware that, if they're trying to get into the console market, look, we saw the Steam machines, that didn't turn out all too well. It would be very beneficial to have something like a Half-Life 3 to prop that up and promote it. I'm just throwing that out there. We'll see if that comes to fruition. I still am incredibly skeptical about it. However, Jason Schreier isn't somebody that I feel is going to overhype things. And, people speculating Half-Life 3, that could be us just overhyping it. But I've seen it enough where I wanted to talk about it, and I don't think it's the most insane thought in the world. And I do personally really believe that Half-Life 3 will eventually happen. Look, there was a time when I was younger, I never thought the Final Fantasy VII Remake would have actually come to fruition. After I saw Square Enix do the Final Fantasy VII Remake, I have this idea in my mind that all of the developers, all of the publishers, they know you can't be this out of touch with your consumer base to not know what they desperately want. It's just, there is a level of benefiting off of keeping it in your back pocket for a while. And if Bloodborne or Half-Life 3 get announced tomorrow, both of those titles are orders of magnitude bigger now than they would have been had they come out when people started begging for them. That is just a fact. Half-Life 3 exponentially so, and I would say Bloodborne exponentially so. I think if Bloodborne came out, I don't know, in 2020 when the PS5 dropped, or 2021, the year after the PS5 dropped, I don't think it would have been big. It wouldn't have been as big as it could be if it drops in 2025, especially after Elden Ring has come out and it elevated From Software as a studio even more, and Bloodborne has kind of crafted this mystique around it, and Half-Life 3 very much also has this mystique around it of it's never going to come out. It's never going to happen. And then when it does happen, it's exponentially bigger. There's a give and a take to this. There's sometimes the level of waiting too long, but in the case of Half-Life 3, obviously, like, is anybody gonna kid themselves? If it's announced tomorrow, it's literally gonna be the second most anticipated game behind Grand Theft Auto 6. You know, that just is what it is. Bloodborne Remaster, I mean, it would be a remaster. I'm not here to say it's gonna be one of the most anticipated games of all time or anything like that, but for a remaster, like, it's gonna be more anticipated than the Horizon Zero Dawn remaster, I'll tell you that right now. It'll be more anticipated than Days Gone remaster. It'll be more anticipated than Last of Us Part 2 and Last of Us Part 1. I'll tell you guys that much right now, but that'll do it for me. Again, I don't think this speculation is as astronomically insane as some of you guys might think. Do I think it's gonna happen? I put it at like a 30% chance because it's Half-Life 3 at the end of the day. Like, bro, I can't believe I meme myself into making this video, but I'm just saying, I do think someday it's going to happen, and it being announced tomorrow and then leading into a release a few years from now when Valve would also be putting out a Steam console or a Steam console-like machine, I don't think, like, that makes a lot of sense to me, objectively, and just thinking about it logically. If you are gonna do a Steam console-like machine, which isn't the same as a Steam Deck, that's a different market that you're going for, I don't think it's a bad idea to have Half-Life 3 in your back pocket, and it would be an instance of probably you don't want to put that game on PlayStation 5 or Xbox, and I don't know how Sony would feel about that, but hey, Sony ain't putting their PlayStation games on your platform day one, so what's the harm in putting your game on their platform a year and a half down the line? I don't see any problem with that, but that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.